we should think also of these expenditures in military action as a misuse of our resources that otherwise could be channeled towards sustainable development, and we somehow, as a multi-stakeholder partnership of civil society, engaged global citizens, and also people who are thinking differently in public administration, and so we should really work on changing this situation. And when we think about change, we have also in mind youth, of course, and we are happy to have Billy Batware for United for Education and Development with us. Billy is also very active in the ECUN's Vienna group and also Article 29 movement of Vienna, but you will tell us more about this. Billy, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much for the introduction. I'm very honored and privileged to present to you the student perspective on responsive citizens. When I prepared my presentation, I did a study on a form of interviews to several students from around the world, and I managed to put together only about 2 pages of about maybe a couple of 100 pages I received from everybody. So I tried to make it in about 5 minutes to present everybody's view. I have to start saying that I'm a little bit disappointed that youth are not very much represented here in the audience, although I know they are very represented in general here at the conference. A couple of points that we looked at was how citizens are responsive in terms of national and international issues. We realized that depending on the issues that is being looked at and depending on where the matters might be taking place, that citizens today are still responsive as they used to be before. It's just that it takes extreme circumstances for citizens to take extreme measures, as we have seen in North Africa and in Arab world. But the other problem with citizen responsiveness is that there are so many issues that people have become acquainted with and have become interested in, that is so difficult for one single group to come around and make a difference. So in that sense, people are just as engaged. It just takes really extreme circumstances to realize that they can come out and take extreme measures to address those problems. The other issues that I looked at in my study was how and what can we do to engage citizens to be more responsive. And we came up with the suggestion that there's a need of greater awareness in terms of connecting the events and the actions. In other words, to understand that decisions we take every day, the decisions we take every hour and every minute actually have major effects that ripple around the world. For example, people, you might just say, I need coffee, and you just go about buying that coffee. But very few people ask themselves where that coffee comes from. You might just say, well, I'm eating blueberries from Argentina in the middle of a European winter. But very few people really know where those blueberries are coming from. Are they coming from the Amazon, causing more deforestation? Are they, what are the companies that are producing all these things that we consume? What do they do? Are they donating to the dictators in these countries? Are they the major polluters? So all these questions are just ignored, of course, due to the living lifestyle in some of the developed countries. The other issues I looked at is obviously a very issue that concerns many young people. What can be the role of students in citizen responsiveness? we believe that students probably have the greater role to play in citizens' responsiveness, and they should live as role models. They should be ethical in their work, and they should above all, be engaged in their communities with NGOs and with part of the university-related programs that serve in the interest of the public. Furthermore, as we all agreed, we agreed also that there's a link between citizen responsiveness and sustainable development, as everybody here has alluded to. There is an absolute definite connection between these two. However, we also believe that there might be two outcomes of citizen responsiveness, and one is what we call negative, and the other one is a positive one. The positive outcome of citizen responsiveness, we think, is that people get to know what is, to understand what is going on around them, and develop more interest to try and find solutions to this problem. On the other hand, the negative side of citizen responsiveness could be that people understand what is going on around them and react by protecting themselves at the cost of the other people. So there are two sides of this, although of course citizen responsiveness is important, but sometimes can lead to negative solutions. And then having Article 29 as a very important point for me and for us all, I asked them how could they explain all the views, all these points basing on Article 29. And we do understand, we agree that everything is interconnected. People have to begin to understand the world through reactions. So it does matter where actually your garbage goes, as you know. And you know, as I've already said, it does matter to think about where the coffee you drink comes from, or where the blueberries you eat come from, and what the impact of buying those things are. And finally, we looked at the question whether, based on Universal Declaration for Human Rights, especially Article 1, whether they believe that there should be world citizenship. And I don't have to look very far to think that there is a world citizenship, because I think every one of you, in their own terms, is a world citizen. I believe, well, of course, you can see already that
through this Vienna group, they have produced already T-shirts, world citizen, that do something.
There you go.
That's one of that's one of our efforts to try to bring awareness, especially based on this Article 29 of the Universal Declaration for Human Rights, because we believe that Article 1 especially, which just says that everyone is equal to the others, is the basis, should be the basis, important rule for all human to follow. So in other words, although there are many, I just summarize it and I read it because it's so important. I told everybody, your points are going to be represented in Bonn. So I think I just go ahead and read the summary of all the 100 pages I received, maybe in about 10 sentences. So we believe that although there are many issues to be concerned about, if people can overcome ignorance and become more informed, the society today will be just as responsive as the societies that come before. For a good reason, of course, because the world is growing smaller every day, and the fact that citizen responsiveness is a crucial element of having sustainable societies. Moreover, global citizenship exists, although it faces major challenges such as egoism, greed, and self-interest. Finally, students should realize that they have a major role to play in society. I would even argue that they have the greater role to play in a society, in their communities. And they should inform others, be ethical in their lifestyles, and be active in their communities, especially in NGOs and as part of the universities. Basically, students and young people in general should care, because if you look around, there's so many things to care about. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Billy, for your inspiring presentation on how really this citizen responsiveness can play a crucial role, and what implications it has for lifestyle changes and everyday decisions of us, and how this orientation towards the duties of global citizens towards global community, that this can be a very important driver for global systemic change. And I would just like to inform you also that together with the group from Vienna, from this ECUNS group and other partners, and with UNESCO, we have organized a conference, Imagining the Worst, Foresight, Ethics and Extreme Climate Scenarios, about these issues of the ethical basis for future global governance, and also for Rio+20, how when we think that perhaps we cause with our actions today, which each individual action, that we are contributing to collapse of environmental systems, economic systems, governance systems in the future, that this could perhaps motivate us to be more responsible today, and with a broader view towards responsibility to global community and future generations. And we have also on our homepage some information regarding this global citizenship ethics for effective global governance, so you can have a look there.